You are welcome in online class. In online class today we have the topic related to the chapter number 13 of class 9th. In that the name of the chapter is Why Do We Fall Ill? Why do we fall ill? So the very common question is that why do we fall ill? So before this, according to your NCRT book, you will see the activity number 13 decimal 1. It is told that we have already heard about the earthquake. Then earthquake started the chapter with the earthquake. So what is the correlation between the why do we fall in the earthquake as the activity 13 decimal 1 states? This means that when the earthquake take place, in that situation the tectonic plate of the earth, they overlap each other, and where they overlap each other, that places there is a sudden shake in the earth and it causes the earthquake at particular place. And now question arises, then what happens when the earthquake took place, and how we can correlate with the why do we fall in? So very simple answer is that when the earthquake take place, then what happens? There is the property damage and the human loss, as well as the different living organisms which live upon the earth. They are fully devastated or they are being killed, and as a result that transportation of the humans as well as the people who are dead during the earthquake, they start stinking because there is no any transportation. The human, they are decomposed by the microorganism, and all around there is the foul smell. There is the carbon dioxide and different sulfur dioxide, whatever the things, they all around this prevails. It badly affects the atmosphere, and the environment is polluted, and the human is also being affected by that. And there is also human have the stress, they have no good accommodation, they have no habitations. So the earthquake also mentally, physically, mentally and economically and socially they disturb. So in this context of this chapter, the earthquake is also correlated in the context of that physical, mental and economical, and as well as socially we are deprived from the different facilities and the things. So it can be said that this topic earthquake are also related to the human health. So, and we can easily give the answer that human health are also affected by the earthquake. When the earthquake take place after the prolonged, there is a problem in the human being. So now the another thing is that when we do this exercise during the earthquake, we realize that health and disease in human communities are very complex issues. These are interconnected. Different issues of the human are interconnected. As for example, if we are cutting the forest, deforestation we are doing, deforestation in course of setting up the factories, and we are also using the woods for the fuels, and in course of the fuel, when the fuel ignited, the combustion process starts, the enormous amount of the carbon dioxide that is released into the atmosphere, and this increase the level of CO2, and ultimately that leads to the global warming, and global warming directly affect the human health. And this can be said that we can also fall ill due to the physical environment, our activities. These are interconnected with the disease. As for example, CO2 is increased, then the level of temperature increased, and this temperature also affect the human health. So these are interconnected. Second thing is that when the SO2 level increases, then acidic rain causes, then acidic rain affects the human health. So we can say that the different activities of human and issues are interconnected causes. Interconnected causes. One activity is being performed, the another cause for the health issues, yeah, the diseases are already created by the human being. So these all are interconnected. Now one thing is that why do we fall ill? The very important question as the chapter is stating. This means that when the all organs of body they do not get the proper amount of the energy and they are not functioning well in lack of the energy, so these are uncontrolled the action in the different body organs, they leads to the disease and we fall ill. As for example, if we start at the cell level, we know that our body is made of the many units, building units. This building unit is called the cell. These are the cells. All organs in the body, these are made of the cells. Cells make the tissue, tissue makes the organ, organ makes the organ system makes the individual. So at the every cell level, that what happens? Oxygen, the cell level, our body is made up from the cells, and at the cell level, the chemical reaction take places when we take the carbohydrate, protein, fats, and the minerals. These all the carbohydrate, protein, fats, and minerals. These are decomposed at the cell level. Here oxygen combined with the simplified C6H12 and O6 plus 6O2. Then what happens? Then the carbon dioxide 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus 38 ATP energy is formed. So this energy, ultimate production of the energy that leads to this energy in the form of ATP derives the different organs to function well. So this is most important. Now you can see that, you will see proper. This is the energy, 38 ATP energy. This energy is needed for the well functioning of the different organs. As for example, just I am teaching, I am inhaling oxygen. This oxygen reaches to the each and every cell through the lungs as well as the heart functioning. The heart systoles and diastole, two processes of the heart. The rhythmic contraction and relaxation is responsible for the blood circulation all around the body. And this circulation is most important for us, that it releases the energy. If energy is not given to each and every organs, then organs will not function well. As for example, and all organs are interconnected. Simple example, energy is needed to the kidney, lungs, heart and other endocrine systems and different organs. As for example, according to your class, if I draw here, this is the simple kidney it is. This is the renal artery, renal vein. This is the one simple kidney it is, kidney. You know very well, kidney is responsible for elimination, removal of the waste material that is produced. As for example, here we can see that when the carbohydrates are broken down with the help of O2, then carbon dioxide is formed. These carbon dioxides are dissolved into the blood and in the form of H2CO3, hydrogen carbonate and carbonic acid, these circulate all around the body. Ultimately, these are sent to the kidney for the filtration. So, if here kidney, there are different filtrating unit. So, this filtrating unit is known as the nephron. It is called the nephron. So, nephron is responsible for the filtration of the different excretory materials. So, blood are purified and this purified blood is sent to all around the body and the oxygenated blood, pure blood as well as the oxygenated blood runs all around the cell level, and this cell provides us the energy by the respiration process. So we can say that if the kidney is not functioning well, then what will happen? Different nitrogenous waste and to waste, ammonia, uric acid, and different the yes, the urine is also the harmful product. This will be not eliminated, removed from the body, and our body will be toxic, full of poisonous the substances, and our body functions will be upset. So we can say that the why do we fall? We fall ill due to the not proper balanced diet. Second is that due to the stress, due to environmental factor, due to not doing the proper exercise and taking the too much fatty foods. So these unhygienic condition is also responsible, not proper sanitation of the our surrounding. These all leads to the condition where the body is not in a normal state. These are in the abnormal state, that is called the disease, and we fall ill. According to WHO says that the health is the complete state of physical, mental and social and economical well-being of the human, that is called the health according to WHO. So now the how health is failure, the just I have stated that due to above mentioned the proper diet, exercise, straight environmental factor as well as the others factors like the garbage is scattered all around in our locality, this can damage our health. So these are the community level problem which causes the abnormality of our body functioning, and that leads to the disease condition. So proper sanitization, pure water, the flies should not be scattered or fly all around, house flies and the different insects. So we should also be avoid to the contact of different infected persons, and we should make a distance from these contaminated persons, and we should use the fresh water. So these are the situation when we suffer from disease. The distance between the health. Now one thing is that sometimes it says that he is healthy and he is disease free. Healthy means that physical, social, economical and mental states well-being is called the health. It is related not to the individual, it is related to the mass level. But the disease means that disease free means that a person who is suffering from the particular disease at the individual level, and this is not related to the mass level, this is called the disease free. As for example, if I have the some particular disease, then I am suffering from that one, but maybe the socially or economically I am the weak, so it cannot be said that we are healthy. So disease free means that it is related to the individual level, but the health is not related to the individual level. So this is the difference between the disease free and the health. So another thing is that the distance between healthy and disease free. Now disease and its cause. What are the disease and its cause? As we know that there are different diseases, there are different causes of the disease to take place. That some is the malnutrition, nutrition level, and some are the pathogenic level. The different pathogens can enter to our body, they can multiply themselves and they can release the toxin in our body, and for neutralizing that toxins our body will have to do many folds work, and that our body will have to do many works to neutralize these pathogens, and in case of that one, homeostasis of the body will be disturbed and we will suffer from the some disease. So diseases are the two types. Some is the acute disease and some are the chronic disease. Acute diseases are those kind of the diseases which certain by the pathogens they are caused, and the disease, some diseases last for only few days and the few short period of time, they are called the acute. But the some diseases that prolong for long duration, they last in the body, they remain in the body, like the cancer and AIDS, etc. They are TB, tuberculosis. These have the long period, so these are called the chronic disease. So there are the two diseases on the basis of their the duration, acute and the chronic disease. Chronic disease and the poor health. Suppose that a person who is suffering from the TB, then what happens? It is not a first initial time. It is very slow and steady. It's the multiplication of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, the pathogens. When they multiply, and the many folds, when their multiplication numbers are very speed, their number increase the many folds, then what happens? Then it starts the putting the obstacle in our organs. Mucus always secreted, lungs is also affected, as well as the windpipe is also affected. Many times the mucus and phlegm comes out from the lungs, and appetite is lost, and the body loss, weight loss, and these are the symptoms of that some particular disease. Symptoms, and there are the some signs. Those signs and symptoms are different. That symptoms means that it is related to the particular disease, particular symptoms of the many diseases. Symptoms means that related to the some general features of the some disease, but the sign is related to a particular disease, which gives the different the sign that is related to the some specific disease. As for example, if I have a lot of the sputum and phlegm coming out from our lungs, and the nose is runny nose, and the persistence cough, and appetite loss, and the weight loss, these are the simple the sign of the TB, tuberculosis. So this is the sign. A symptom that generally we can say that we are not have the appetite, we have the body loss. Maybe the thyroid problem, we have the no appetite. We have the some tiredness, we have no appetite. But the general features that when the persistence cough and prevails for the long duration, this is called the sign. Now there are causes of disease. So pathogens are the causes, malnutrition is the causes, stress of the environment is also causes, pollution is also the cause of the nutrition, cause of the disease. And another thing is that when there is not proper disposal of the garbage, unhygienic condition, that can also lead to the sexual intercourse, that can be also the problem for the disease. And some STD, sexually transmitted disease, can also occur. So on the basis of that, the some diseases are infectious, some are non-infectious. As for example, if I have a runny nose, this means that the some virus like rhinovirus that I am affected, that's why my nose is running. If I sneezes, the droplets of this rhinovirus will be being transmitted from me to the another healthy persons. If he inhales that rhinovirus, he will be also affected from the common cold. So these diseases are the infectious which transmit from one unhealthy person to a healthy person. These are called the disease infectious disease. Non-infectious diseases are those diseases which do not transmit from one unhealthy person to a healthy person. As for example, the AIDS, these are not transferable. Cancer is not transferable, not transmitted to one unhealthy person to a healthy person. So these are the topics related to that one. So we can say that there are many diseases, there are many agents. Then how they spread? There are many agents for spreading the disease, and like the pathogens. Pathogens, they are transmitted with the water, the waterborne diseases, air, they are called the airborne diseases, by the some vectors like housefly, mosquito, Aedes mosquitoes. These are spreaded. So the agents are those which carries help in the transmission of the some pathogens, like the SARS. SARS is the severe acute respiratory disease. This is called a pneumonia-like disease, that is respiratory disease. So all have the some agents. Without agents, it cannot spread. So, trypanosoma cause the sleeping sickness, and the Escherichia lumbricoid, this also cause the filarial disease, and the Leishmania donovani, that is the very fatal disease we can see in that one, that kala jar disease is caused by Leishmania donovani, and the staphylococci bacteria which cause acne and pimples over the skin of somebody else. So in this picture we have learned too many things, and now it is time to leave the class. Before this I can tell you the some important topics, that how the disease transmit the direct contact, air, indirect contact by the food, and the by vectors, mosquito by the bite of the some animals. So in the next video I will see the many topics of the transmission of the disease. Thank you. Have a nice day.